Yeah, what's up, everybody? We're finally here. Sorry about the wait, guys. Technical difficulties. But as always, we may be a little late, but I got none other than James from That Ass Podcast in the house today.
What is up, everybody?
What's up, James? Sorry,
Thank
guys.
Thank you for all that waited.
Yeah, we're sorry, man. Apologize about that. I had some technical difficulties on the computer. Had to restart everything and something else. But we fought through it, and we're here. And let's get right into it, man. What's up with everybody out there? I hope you can rejoin us over on this stream. Sorry about that. And we're closer to NFL time today. I keep saying tonight because I'm never used to broadcasting on the weekend morning. But no Filthy Mouth Gamer tonight either. Today. He's still in Florida. But I got his stuff recorded. We're going to give you our picks. We're going to give you a little rant out in the beginning here because New York football is fucking horrible.
We showed more fight getting this stream up than the Giants did.
Yeah, seriously.
On Monday night.
We just did a better performance than Brandon Marshall.
Whose head is not in football.
No, definitely not, man. Something not right about that guy, man. That pissed me off last week.
What an absolute disgrace. Dropping balls left and right. You know, it's one thing when you did it in Denver and when you did it in Miami and when you did it in Chicago because you were good.
Yeah.
You can't do that here. Not when the offensive line looks that pathetic. Not when, you needed, especially down 17-7. You can't drop balls down the sidelines.
No.
I'm talking, these are average footballs.
Yeah, man.
Best. These are not difficult catches.
Serious. They were thrown right. Some of them were right into his hands, right into his chest.
It's ridiculous.
It really was, man.
And then for Eric Flowers, that pathetic excuse for a left tackle to sit there and
what
say,
was up with him?
Oh, I don't think I had a bad game. Oh, yeah, you're just getting your quarterback killed week after week.
Yeah, if you look at Eli's face every time he gets up after being plastered onto the floor because this dude can't block somebody, and then he turns around and says he didn't have a bad game. Oh, okay, you didn't have a bad game, right?
Of course not. No.
I don't know what game he was in. He might have been in another dimension in another fucking game because he played horrible. That whole line played horrible once again. And now here they are, week 3 against Philly. If they lose this game, you hit the panic button. Like, you better hit the panic button.
I seriously need to say this. And this really needs to be said for all Giant fans. And you need to come to this reality. This team will win nothing this year. I'm just saying it right now. I am done. I am sick and tired of this general manager continuing to get off the hook for doing what? He's done nothing. Ken, what they are living on a 7-year-old Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's what they're living on. What has he done? The Dallas Cowboys went out and drafted offensive linemen when Tony Romo was getting killed. The Minnesota Vikings have a better offensive line than us. How is this possible? How is it that the Giants trot that pathetic offensive line out week after week after week
Let me ask you this.
Get their quarterback killed?
Do you think it's because they spent more money on the offense and in certain areas they spent a lot of money on?
They spent a lot of money on that defense. Spent $200 million
and on the defense, right? Like they spent the money.
How about draft an offensive lineman worth his salt?
Yeah, it's like they spent the money on other areas of the team, and they said, you know what? We'll put together that offensive line.
They never took it seriously.
Yeah, they never did. It was like they were plugging holes. That's all they were doing when they
lived on the Super Bowl, and they rested on their laurels, and they rested on the Giant name, and that's what they rested on. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Let me tell you.
The New York Giants, when they won their Super Bowl, they're the only team in NFL history that won the Super Bowl and was at the bottom of rushing. These problems have existed back then.
Yeah.
These just didn't show up. They didn't just show up today.
No.
This has been going on. And let me tell you something, everybody in the chat and everybody watching this, and everybody's going to listen to this video. There is no need to think that the Giants would do anything in Philadelphia. Now, usually that's when the Giants are at their best, when nobody believes in their heart of hearts that they're going to do anything.
That's why I think they're going to win today. I do. As bad as they've been, I just have a feeling they're going to put it together today. You know what I mean?
And then you have the head coach calling the quarterback out with the delay of game penalty at the inside the 5-yard line. Why would you believe that the Giants would convert a 4th down? They can't block it. They can't run it. They can't pass it without getting the quarterback killed. Why would you think at all that the Giants would do anything on 4th down? That delay of game penalty saved you That's what it should have happened. And what should have happened was you kicked the damn field goal down 17-7. What are you going for the touchdown for? You haven't done anything productive in the red zone in 4 years. And they got rid of Coughlin because of this. What has Ben McAdoo done exactly?
Nothing.
Can someone explain?
Nothing. Nothing
What has
at
Ben
all.
McAdoo done exactly? What, he got 1-11? Got a team to 11-5. And what did he allow this team to do? They went to the playoffs. And what happened after that? Oh, that's right. He let Odell Beckham and the wide receiver yacht crew go down to Miami, wear their furry Timberlands, and chill on a boat with Trey Songz and Justin Bieber. Oh, we don't need to prepare for Aaron Rodgers or anything of that nature. No. We got this, baby. We got it. No, you don't.
No, you don't. Definitely don't.
Unbelievable. Shout out to Jet Central in the chat. Shout out to you. Thank you for following us, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Unbelievable. It's just so sickening.
It really is.
And the way they played on Monday night, they made Ziggy Ansah look like Reggie White.
I know, they did.
That
was horrible. I know, man. That was pretty bad.
How much more do we have to take? I mean, you think that, Chris Long and Fletcher Cox and these dudes are going to be held back in Philadelphia? They're looking for blood. That giant offensive line is prime meat.
Yeah, and they know that, too. If you don't think Philly knows that, then you're fooling yourself, because Philly knows the Giants are ripe for picking right now. That this is a game
are working in the
win.
Giants' favor. Two things working in the Giants' favor. Number one, Carson Wentz fumbles all the time. He had 13 fumbles last year. He had three already this year.
Yeah, well, we know Philly practically beats themselves sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
Doug
it's like
Peterson is the head coach.
You do have a shot here to win today for the Giants. That's why I feel like they're going to win.
I don't believe in them right now, so they probably will win.
So what are you picking for this week as far as the Giants and Philly?
I think the Giants are gonna lose. It's gonna look ugly. It's gonna be bad. I'm saying 28. And by the way, the Giants have not scored in 8 weeks. Eight consecutive weeks now. They've not scored 20 points. They've not done that since 1977, 1978. You know who the quarterback was? Joe Pisarcik. You remember that? Yeah. Anybody knows in football lore, Joe Pisarcik was the person who allowed Herman Edwards to come across the line when he was trying to take a knee and score a touchdown.
You play to win the game. You play to win the game.
So the Giants haven't scored 20 points in 8 consecutive weeks. I don't expect it this week. I expect the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm screwed up thinking about baseball. Eagles to win 31-14.
All right, 31-14. I'm going to go the opposite way on that one. I'm going to go with the Giants this week. I feel like week 3, finger on the panic button. If you lose 3 straight to open up the season, you could kiss your ass goodbye. And a lot of teams don't come back from that and make the playoffs. I feel like they're good enough to win. It's this fucking offensive line. And I think Philly shoots themselves in the foot so much that they'll give the Giants opportunities that these 2 other games the Giants just didn't put themselves in to have those type of opportunities. So I think the Giants are going to win. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'm thinking around maybe 21-10, 21-17, somewhere in there. So I'm picking the Giants on that one. All right, well, we'll move on to Kansas City and at Los Angeles Chargers. Now, the Chargers are rumored to go back to fucking San Diego again, as everybody's heard. If you're an NFL fan, it's like a big fucking charade over there. Really it's a mess. I mean, any teams that go to this California area, it seems like they're just fucking doomed to stay there. The Rams, you'll probably see the Rams leave again eventually too. But I mean, that's besides the point. Kansas City's hot, right? Been playing fucking really well, Kansas City Chiefs. They definitely look like a team to contend with. Chargers look pretty decent. You got a good Hall of Fame quarterback behind the helm, so they're always in the game. But I see Kansas City just running away with this one. What do you think?
I won't say running away because it's a divisional game, but I will say this: Phillip Rivers, the look on his face last week as their kicker has cost them now 2 games.
Yeah.
And this is why I hate kickers in football, because this is what happens. You work for 4 quarters, 60 damn minutes, and you have a position, and you have to try out this 120-pound kicker. You're supposed to rely on that
the whole game
to win the game.
Depends on him, yeah.
And I you know what? I can't pick the Chargers anymore. I can't. You allow Jay Cutler to beat you. It's just pathetic.
I know. It really is pathetic, man.
I understand. The kicker screwed it up.
Yeah.
That game should have been over in so many other ways.
It shouldn't have come down to the kicker.
It shouldn't come down to the kicker.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand the Denver Bronco game. Okay, that one you can let go. You had the Denver Broncos in position to win. But This time, I'm going with Kansas City. They're home. They're hot. Kareem Hunt, there was no real injuries. Alex Smith has stepped up. He stepped up in that Philly game when they made mistakes. I know we didn't have the numbers that he had in week 1. I'm going to go with Kansas City. I can't trust San Diego anymore. There's a hex on that franchise.
Yeah,
something's been wrong with that franchise ever since they fired Marty Schottenheimer when they won 14-2, and they lost to the Patriots in a game they should have won.
And Junior Seance offed himself. I think that's what kind of I don't know. I feel the same way about them. There's just something not right with that organization. Even though they're in a new fucking area and they're supposed to get a stadium out of this, and they're supposed to be getting a brand new stadium, and things look good for them. In the future wise, but this year just does not look right. They don't look good. They look like they're just fucked. One of those teams.
We'll talk about the Cowboys.
We'll go with one of the late games, the 8:30 game, Cowboys at Arizona Cardinals.
Monday night
game, yeah.
Cowboy fans, what did I tell you last week?
Yeah, they're just
What did I tell you?
They're all pissed off, the Cowboy fans too, man. They sound like Giant fans right now.
Let me tell you something, Cowboy fans. I told all of you last week that Dak Prescott was an average thrower of the football, who was an insulated quarterback.
Yeah, he is.
Was, protected by the offensive line and Ezekiel Elliott.
I think the fans know that. I think those Dallas fans realize it. You know what I'm saying?
They don't believe that.
No, I mean, but at first the hype on this kid was through the fucking moon. Okay, but like you said, a lot of Giant fans are like, okay, let's see what happens when people get to this kid and put him under a little pressure. Last year, you saw what happens when you put a little pressure on this guy.
You saw Ezekiel Elliott was taken away. Who was the one team that did it? The Giants.
Yeah.
What happened to the Cowboys? They lost those games.
Yep.
What happened in Denver? They walked out there talking all this trash, thinking they can go ahead and roll their helmets out on the field. Let me tell you something. When you go to Mile High, 5,230 feet above sea level, that's where dreams go to die, Ken. That's where dreams go to die.
Oh yeah, because
You understand that?
Yep.
Let me tell you, Ezekiel Elliott got choked off, and you know what? There's even a bigger insult that I would take if I was a Cowboy fan. A bigger insult was this: the Denver Broncos didn't even bother double covering anybody. You know what they did? They put 8 people in the box, dragged the safety down, put the linebacker out in motion, and said, "Yeah, it's man coverage. Go ahead and throw the football. Come see us."
Yeah, they knew if they boxed out, if they boxed them out and they just man-to-man coverage, and it puts pressure directly on him because he's not going to be able to throw the ball. And
consistently.
Yeah, you
threw the ball 50 times.
Yeah, with them, it just seems to me like they're a good team, but the areas that they're lacking in is going to cost them this whole season.
Defense.
You know what I'm saying?
Defense. Look what happens when a defense can attack a quarterback with no offensive line.
Yeah.
That was week 1. They won by 19, right? Look, Trevor Siemian cut him up like a butcher cuts up tenderloin.
Yeah.
Cut up defense.
Was all over that shit.
All over it.
Look
what happened to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, well, I think the Giants had a lot to do with it last year when they beat the Cowboys like they did throughout the season. The way that the Giants played them, a lot of teams are playing them now this season, Dallas. And so it kind of puts them in that.
They have no respect for Des Bryant whatsoever.
No, they don't.
Because he literally, Cowboy fans have to realize this. He's not running by anybody. He can't run the go route. He doesn't run the square route. He runs slants in the middle of the field, and he does the stutter step.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Bradley Roby and Chris Harris took all that away, and they got the interceptions they got.
Yep.
All he is a jump ball receiver who catches back shoulder fades. Take that away, you take their offense away.
Yeah.
Take Ezekiel Elliott away, and Dak Prescott's got to throw the ball more than 20 times.
And that's
they're
bad.
Not winning.
Yeah, that's bad. Force him to throw the ball, man-to-man coverage. Let him don't blitz on him. Don't open the box up and bring people in. Just stay on your man-to-man coverage and let the kid fuck up because they've proven, and the Giants did it last year, that if you pressure him, you let him sit there and throw into some of those pockets that have a couple of, cornerbacks in there, you're going to get interceptions on the guy. You're going to force him to fucking make a stupid mistake. And that run that they had, what did they win? How many games in a row last year? What was it, 10
games in a row?
It was 11?
11 games in a row.
That 11 games, I mean, yeah, it was impressive, and the kid looked unbelievable once he came in for Romo and shit, but I think the magic carpet ride has ended in Dallas for him. So, Like you said, you see Dallas losing this game in Arizona?
Arizona's been a weird place for the Dallas Cowboys. They've lost a lot of bad games in Arizona.
Yeah, they have.
And it's kind of funny how everything I just said, I actually am picking the Cowboys to win.
Are you really?
Yeah. Because I don't trust Carson Palmer. They've lost David Johnson. All the Arizona Cardinals have is a decent defense. They fought to beat the Colts last week, for God's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't in good faith. The Cowboys have heard enough how bad they are. And straight shooter, to answer your question, Aaron Rodgers threw for 77 yards last year against the same defense. Yeah, I understand that. But Aaron Rodgers is a lot better than Dak Prescott. Don't compare the two. All right, don't even start with that garbage. Dak Prescott got exposed. There's a difference between both tapes. Trust me. I actually picked the Cowboys to win. They've heard all week of how bad they are. They've heard all week on Ezekiel Elliott has heard all week how no effort was put. His coach threw him under the bus. So I believe they're going to be motivated to win this game. They haven't won in Arizona in a long time. They've had bad game after bad game there. I'm picking the Cowboys to win. About 27-17, 27-20, something like that.
All right. I think I'm going to go. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game with them, too. Although, both of these teams, once they get in a groove, can put some points on the board, especially the Cardinals. But I think Dallas is going to lose at Cardinals. Like you said, they have weird games there. I think it's going to be one of those games. I think Cardinals will win that game. Probably like a 21 something. I don't know. Maybe like 28-17, somewhere in there. All right. The next game we'll go with is another late game, 8:30 game. Raiders at the Washington Redskins, and as the Filthy Mouth Gamer likes to call them, the Washington Foreskins. Raiders look good. Washington, they look decent too, man. You got to say, they got a decent little team there.
I love the Raiders.
Well, I'm saying Washington looks good too, don't you think? They got a little decent team going there.
I don't trust the quarterback. It comes down to him.
No, I know he's not proven really. He's not like, I don't know. I see their line is good. Like, they got a couple of good areas to their team. I don't think they'll beat the Raiders, but I think it is a very close game with the Raiders in Washington. I just feel like the Redskins, when they're home, they're good. They're at their best. You know what I mean?
I don't believe in Kirk Cousins. I don't believe in Jay Gruden. And more stuff came out about RG3 this week as Santana Moss was running his mouth.
Yeah, what was up with that? What exactly happened with that? What were they saying?
Santana Moss went, and that's obvious he's been on his mind for 4 years. And he basically talked about how RG3 ran Mike Shanahan out.
Yeah.
And basically he, jumping up and down and all this, that, and the third. And then when Jay Gruden came in, Jay Gruden didn't believe in RG3. See, RG3 was his own worst enemy in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Because he never learned how to slide. He got his knee hurt. And Shanahan kept him in the playoff game, which I didn't have a problem with. Yeah. Shanahan kept him in the playoff game. And what happened was he wanted Mike run out of town. And then him and his father go up to the front office and say, I want to be a pocket passer. I want to be Peyton Manning. Those were the quotes. I want to be Peyton Manning. I can be Peyton Manning. Well, you never were a volume thrower. You never were that guy. Once you take your legs away from you, it's easy to game plan against you.
Yeah, I mean...
And Santana Moss talked about how, he got what he deserved because Jay Gruden threw him under the bus left and right. And he goes, see, that's what karma gets you.
Shit.
So, I mean, this is obviously Santana Moss's mind for 4 years, and he put it out there.
Fucking Santana Moss. Now, he hasn't played in a while, right? It's been 4 years?
He doesn't play anymore. No, he's retired.
He's been out for a while now, right?
Yeah, he's been out for 3 years. Or 4 years.
He was a good player, Santana Moss. I liked him.
He was a good He was a good deep threat for them.
He was, man. And for the Jets. When he was on the Jets, he was fucking good for them, man. He really was. Speaking of the Jets, I mean, we'll get to them, man. They're just fucking hard. My buddy in the chat is waiting for the Jet review we're going to do, but it just... Listen, it's gonna. We'll get to it. Anyway, I think the Raiders win this game, though. You know what I mean? I think they go into Washington. I think it's gonna be a tight game, but the Raiders have so many weapons. Crabtree looks like a whole different guy, man. I love his style. I love what he's doing over there. I see nothing but big things for the Raiders, man. I really do. Especially this season. I think they're gonna go deep into the playoffs. It's my second favorite team. It's the team I root for when the Jets suck. So I'm rooting for the Raiders anyway. I'm kind of biased on this one. But I do see the Raiders going into Washington and not running away with it, not clobbering the Redskins. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game, but I do see the Raiders coming out on top. Probably like I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be high scoring or. I think the Raiders will put up some numbers. So I'm going to say like Raiders like 28-17, 28-10. I don't give the Redskins much. What do you think?
I'm saying I'll go more. I'll go more 30. I think 31-17, 31-20. I think the Raiders are really going to be able to attack this defense. This defense isn't good covering deep.
Yeah.
I know they got Josh Norman and everything, but that's just one player. I don't trust them. Kirk Cousins, his third Cousins. I can't trust him. I'm sorry.
He looked good when he came in for RG3, man, and they had that little run Washington last year. I mean, he's a decent quarterback, but I understand what you're saying.
Prone.
Yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from. He is a good quarterback, but like he's got that whole thing like Fitzpatrick had on the Jets. He's like kind of like that type of guy. He can put up the big numbers, but in the crunch time and when you got to win a game, he's not exactly the guy you want to go with.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
You don't want to go with him.
No,
you can't trust him.
No.
I don't care if he's home or away. Sunday Night Football, eyes all on him.
He's a good little guy to have for a couple of seasons until you draft like a big time quarterback. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. I thought they were going to really hit a home run with RG3, man. He was a budding superstar at one point on Washington. Really, everything shifted to him. He was like one of the premier guys for a little while there, and it all went to fucking a world of shit fast. And that's known to happen in Washington. That's they've got a history with that shit. Bringing in guys and a good thing going bad real fast.
Yeah, Daniel Snyder just throws money at things. And,
yeah, he does. It's like they waste their resources on like, oh, this guy's going to be the next big thing, and they almost get that person to that pinnacle, and then the bottom drops out. So their franchise is just whatever. But we both pick Oakland on that one. All right, well, let's get to the 4:25 game today. Green Bay Packers and the Bengals. Bengals at Green Bay.
This is one of my picks.
This is one of your picks?
By the way, I'm 4-2 on the year so far.
Okay, Filthy right now is 6-0, I'm pretty sure. That fuck. He's 6-0, man. And I am, I think, 3-3. Yeah, so I mean, it's a nice little race so far for us.
I went 3-0 last week, won 1-2 the week one. This is one of my picks. I am picking the Packers to win this game. The Packers are at home. Cincinnati's in turmoil.
Yeah, this
Andy
is a
Dalton,
no-brainer.
I never trusted. I understand he's had good regular seasons. I don't know what's going on with this team. I don't know where Joe Mixon is. I don't understand what they have. Weapons. They have AJ Green. I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be more competitive in this game than they were before. I understand that Aaron Rodgers lost both of his tackles last week. That's why Atlanta looked great. Because that's what happens when offensive lines crumble. You saw what happened to Aaron Rodgers. He turned the ball over twice. It led to 14 points. They lost by 11. So the Green Bay Packers probably could have won that game if those turnovers don't happen.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to bounce back. They're at home. Cincinnati's in a lot of turmoil right now. They have not. They haven't scored a touchdown. I mean,
Jesus, man, that's just really bad.
It's a problem. And their offensive line's hurt without Wentworth, so I'm picking the Packers at home to rebound, win this game. Cincinnati is going to go into further turmoil and go 0-3. So I'm picking Packers win 31-17.
Nice. That sounds about right, man. I'm thinking the same way you are in this game. Cincinnati, what can we say about them right now? The franchise is just year after year. It just seems like they can never get the job done. Nope. It's the same head coach, the same GM, the same fucking owners, the same everything. It's just the same. It's like a broken record over there in San Diego with the Bengals. It's just a broken record. Every year seems to repeat itself. It's like Groundhog Day in the NFL with the Bengals. So I definitely don't see them going into Lambeau and beating the Pack. I definitely think the Packers are going to put up points today. But like you said, I think the Bengals will hang in there, and they'll make a game of it at some point, maybe in the first, second quarter. After that, I see just Green Bay just running away with it. I'm thinking Green Bay 35, Cincinnati 21. Okay. I say they'll be a little bit close. They'll put up at least 2 or 3 touchdowns, Cincy, and they'll go home with the loss. Let's move on to the next 4 o'clock game, 4:05 in Tennessee. It's the Seattle Seahawks, Tennessee Titans. Now, this is a good matchup, I think. I think this is a good game. If you want to watch the NFL today, your team's not playing, you're on a bye week, you want to watch one particular game, there are some really good games today. This is a game that I think is going to be a good game. Seattle's a good franchise, good team. They got good players, good coach. They're always competitive. They're always in it. Tennessee is like a team up and coming right now. They got a lot of young guys, but I do see Seattle going into Tennessee and beating them definitely tonight. I'm going to make this one quick, not get too much into it, but I think the Seattle Seahawks win this game like a good, like maybe like 21-14, 21-10 Seahawks. What do you think, James?
In good faith, I can't pick a team that's offensive line is as bad as the Giants and the Seahawks. I can't pick a team that had to fight life and death football against the San Francisco 49ers and didn't do any. And at home, had to fight life and death football against the 49ers and then expect them to walk into Tennessee. And I understand their defense is all world. I understand Earl Thomas is back there. I can't believe in this offense anymore. I don't know what they're doing with Jimmy Graham. I don't know what their running game is nowhere near what it used to be. They used to be in the top 5 in rushing every single year. They are nowhere near that now. I don't know where they're going there. Doug Baldwin is invisible. I can't pick this team on the road to beat a Tennessee team that's more together than they are. I can't believe in it.
You know what's messed up? The Seahawks right now are looking into. They're looking at what's his name, ex-Giant wide receiver. What's his name? The one who used to do the fucking dance. What the hell's his name again? The guy who used to do the fucking.
Oh, the salsa?
Yeah.
Oh, the Cruz?
Yeah, I just saw that this morning.
Cut by the Bears, for God's sake.
They're saying Seattle Seahawks looking into possibly bringing Cruz in on practice squad. And
Victor Cruz has never been the same since he tore his patella.
No, he has not. And that sucks, too, man, because, he was, without getting too much into it, he was a premier guy, man. He looked like he was going to be real deal, and he was for a while, But Seattle's looking to bring him in. So, if they bring him in.
Another guy who can't get open.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't see them losing to the Tennessee Titans. But you're probably right, though. Considering all that, their numbers are down big time, Seattle. You know what I mean? Like, compared to the last couple of seasons that they've had.
Consistent in anything.
No, they're not. But you know what? Listen, they do have a great coach. You know what I mean? That's the one thing. And they do have a good quarterback. He could surprise you some games. I just don't see them losing to Tennessee, but you're probably right. I probably should pick Tennessee. Anyway, let's move on to the next game, the New York Jets. Dolphins coming into New York. 1 o'clock start. This game's going to be getting started in the next, 40 minutes. Jets showed signs of life last week. There was a pulse. There was a pulse in the Jets last week. They didn't get the win. And personally, I hope they keep losing. They're in a disarray. They're built to lose. The coach knows it. The GM knows it. The fans know it. This team is built to lose this season. Miami coming in off a pretty good victory. And they have the biggest scumbag quarterback in the world. But odds are he'll probably beat the Jets today. I think Miami wins this game in New York. And I say it will be... I think they'll put up pretty good numbers today, the Dolphins, and feel pretty good about themselves going home. They'll feel like a real NFL team after they play this fucking shithole of a team, the New York Jets. So I think they're going to run away with this one, 28-10, 28-3. I don't see the Jets putting up numbers. They maybe kick a field goal, get one touchdown. So I'm thinking they're going to clobber them. I say 21-28 to 3 or 10, the Jets. So Jets are just horrible. They're in a disarray. And Miami thinks that they're an NFL team right now with Cutler, especially after that win last week. They're thinking, oh, yeah, we're going to start winning. But they're another fucking shit franchise that sucks in the end anyway. So they'll come back down to earth. But they're going to win this game. What do you think?
The Dolphins are walking around, dusting the dirt off their shoulders, popping bottles in clubs, thinking they're somebody. At the end of the day, you beat a team because a kicker couldn't get a job done. Okay, I don't believe that Jay Cutler's gonna run any trains on anybody.
No.
Okay, let alone a New York Jet team that showed life last week in Oakland. Mm-hmm. Down 14-0. The ridiculous touchdown pass to Kurtz that had no business happening. I mean,
man. That was out of fucking nowhere.
No idea what was going on in that Raiders secondary. I have no idea what the communication was going on.
I think they gave it to him. I think somebody was like, "Oh, let them feel good about themselves."
And the Jet fans that want to whine and cry about how the Raiders were taking their sweet time and wanting to score more and taking care of their business. Listen, it wasn't I understand it, but
hey, don't make it easy. Don't make it easy.
Mark Sanchez ate a hot dog on the sideline. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
So you know what? Marshawn Lynch can dance all he wants, and the Raiders can have all the fun they want. And you know what? I was actually hoping that the Raiders would draw them offside so they can score another touchdown.
Smack them around then. If you don't like it, stop them from doing it and put it in their fucking face that they can't do
exactly it. Exactly right. Like, you think the Raiders don't remember when Mark Sanchez and the Jets went up there in their ugly uniforms 9 years ago and ate hot dogs and chilled on the sidelines like it was nothing? You think they didn't remember that?
Yeah.
Of course they remember that as a franchise.
Yeah.
So you know what? Do what you want. Take the loss. Eat it up. But this week, I'm not picking Jay Cutler to run any trains or do anything. I think the Jets going to show up this week. Now, I know Muhammad Wilkerson showed up last week as I saw an offsides penalty.
Yeah.
So I know he was in the game last week.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think the Jets are going to be, show. I can't pick Jay Cutler in good faith to do anything.
Yeah.
So I think the Jets are going to win.
What?
21-14.
Wow. You heard it, folks. You're not going to hear this too many more weeks during this series of shows, but James is picking the fucking Jets to win today. That's awesome. I love it.
I think Jay Cutler will give him enough mistakes to work with.
Yeah. Well, you're probably right. I mean, I just don't see them fucking winning in any games. I know Miami is not exactly a good team, They're not exactly horrible. They're not the worst team in the NFL. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. I see what the Jets are made of, and it's sad. It's fucking really sad what they've done this year. Like they prepared them to be losers. They prepared them to lose.
Long road ahead for them, man.
Yeah, I mean it really is. But you know what? Listen, hey, you'll never hear that again in the show. Somebody picking the Jets, but hey, this week you kind of got to go with them. I understand Jay Cutler sucks. He's fucking horrible. And how could you? I'm picking him. Yeah, how could you really put anything into Cutler? So I do see how you're picking him.
Exactly right. Otherwise, I'd be like, oh, hey, listen, Jets are going to lose this one,
baby.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
All right, so we got the next game. The Houston Texans going in to New England Patriots, and normally we have Joe call in for this one, but he was up late all night. Doing his thing. So he, just like Filthy, and I'm going to play Filthy's recording, we got Cronin giving us a recording about his pick this week for the Patriots. So I'm going to play that real quick for everybody.
Okay.
All right, here we go. I think this is his pick right here, Cronin's pick.
Hey, what's up, everybody? The bottom line is today I haven't slept in 35 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and do something crazy and pick the Patriots to beat the Texans. I think the Patriots are going to win 28-10. You heard it. That's a crazy. I think that's a little out there. I don't know if nobody else is picking that. I think it's going to be. It probably should have been a close game, but you know what? I'm picking 28-10 because I got a special feeling down below in my privates. And that's all I got to say. Have a good day. And the only thing else I wanted to say was Filthy Mouth Gamer is a cunt.
All right, so that's Cronin's pick. He's picking the Patriots, obviously. He said 28-10. Mm-hmm. I'm probably going to pick the Patriots, but I don't know. I got a feeling.
You're hesitant about it.
I got a feeling about this game. I think Houston could win this game. And the reason I'm saying that is I think Houston matches up well against the Patriots. Their strengths are the Patriots' weaknesses, if they have any. And I just think it's a good matchup for Houston. And the Patriots, they seem like when they do lose that shocker game, it's at home most of the time. Mm-hmm.
They don't have many losses at home.
No, they don't. They don't.
Belichick and Brady.
Yeah, but when they do lose, it seems like they're always at home when they fucking let up that game where everybody's like, oh shit, they lost. Mm-hmm. With that said, I'm probably going to pick the Patriots, But I think it's going to be a very tight, competitive game. I think Houston is a damn good team. I think they're up and coming. They're going to be on the map pretty soon. They're not exactly great, but they're definitely improved from last year. I think
they've got a quarterback that's going to turn into something. I believe in Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
Very much so. Clemson, brought him to a championship, almost won 2 back-to-back ones.
Yeah.
Cut up Nick Saban's defense, cut him up, beat him up like a hot knife through butter. Yeah. I mean, throwing 400 yards in back-to-back championship games.
I know.
I think there's something special with Deshaun Watson. I think if they just get that left tackle situation figured out, they could score more points.
Yeah.
But I can, in good faith, pick a rookie quarterback against Bill Belichick in his home. Can't do it.
No, I hear you.
Can't do it. That's why I'm kind of hesitant, and I know the Patriots don't have, they have some real serious issues on defense. Like a team with a real offensive line could take advantage of them.
Yeah.
But I don't believe in Houston's line right now. They played life and death football against the Cincinnati Bengals. I know it was a short turnaround. You're asking a rookie to basically study a basic playbook. It's not the full playbook. He has to cram in everything in 3 days and then play. I'm not picking the Texans. I'm going to go with the Patriots. But I think the Patriots are going to struggle in this game. Really, really struggle. Will be ugly. And they'll just pull it out like I would say 27-23 type of game. Something like that.
Okay. That's a good competitive
Houston
game.
Looks like they're in position to win, but they just can't.
Yeah.
Their offensive line issues are too much of a problem. Bill Belichick will figure it out.
Yeah, he always seems to. Yeah.
And I know his defense, this is nowhere near the Belichick defenses of Ty Law and Rodney Harrison and Teddy Bruschi and all those guys. I understand that. And Hightower's not there, and Marsh got taken advantage of. I just think the Patriots are going to just fight, and they're at home, and they're against a rookie quarterback, and they're going to win.
Yeah, I could see that. I definitely would agree with that. Like I said, I feel like Houston could sneak one out here, but the odds are in the Patriots, so I'm going to take the Patriots too, just on the safe side. Mm-hmm. And I think it'll be something like a 28-23, 28-20, somewhere in there.
Okay.
But I think it's going to be. This is a good game to watch right here.
Patriots are favored by 14, by the way.
I mean, that's just crazy. I think that's too many fucking points. I think that's just way too many. If you're a betting man, I would definitely take the spread on that game. I would definitely take the spread on that game with the Texans. I think they're definitely going to cover that 14 spread. That's crazy. That's just too much in my eyes. But we'll see what happens. It looks like that'll be a good game to watch. Next game we'll move on to, and then after this game I'll play the Filthy Mouth Gamers predictions to get his in there. Okay. Next game we're going to move on to is the Tampa Bay Bucks at the Minnesota Vikings.
Bucks are favored by 3. Minnesota's at home. And Minnesota has a great defense.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of that spread?
They're picking that spread. I don't know if Sam Bradford's playing. Their quarterback issue is a problem. So I would pick the Bucks on the sheer, form of the fact that I know the Bucks are on the road, and I know Minnesota's at home, but Minnesota's quarterback issues right now are a problem. And I believe in Jameis Winston. I really do. The Buccaneer defense is pretty good too. I don't believe in the head coaching staff of the Buccaneers from what I saw on Hard Knocks, but I do believe in the Bucks to win this game. I don't know if they're going to cover this number, but I do believe the Bucks are going to win this game by maybe like a point or 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to say 20-18, 20-19, something like that. In that realm.
All right. I like the Bucks. I think they got a good young team. I think there's, obviously they have their weaknesses and issues with the coaching staff. I mean, it's not everything's perfect, but I definitely think the Bucks are a better team than Minnesota. And you said the Bucks are favored right now. They're on the
Bucks
road.
Are favored by 3. You know what? I take that back. Case Keenum is starting. For Minnesota. And you know what? So I'm gonna go with Rick in the chat. 28-13. I'm gonna get bold.
28-13 Tampa. You're saying?
28-13 Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me too. I think Tampa's gonna definitely take this game and take it hard in Minnesota. I think it's going to be something like I'd agree with you, somewhere in the 20s for Tampa, maybe like 24, 23 to maybe 10, 17. If anything, I'll give Minnesota 2 touchdowns, which I don't think they'll even get that. So I see the Bucs running away with that shit. We'll go to the next game, and then I'll find Filthy's thing here. And next game we got is the Cleveland Browns at the Indianapolis Colts. What do you think of that game?
Let me tell you.
It's horrible.
Let me tell you.
Let me tell you some shit about that game, too. Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns, I don't care what the situations are with the Colts. Cleveland Browns have no business being favored in this game on the road.
Are you kidding me?
Favored by a point.
I mean, what does that tell you about Indianapolis? I know Luck is not in there, right? He's not starting this week, right?
I don't think Jacoby Brissett. Brissett.
My God, that's so bad, Brisket.
I don't.
Jacoby Brisket, baby. Love me some biscuit. Brisket with a biscuit. Jacoby Biscuit. Sock me up with a biscuit, baby, Jacoby. Jacoby, come and get you some of this goddamn brisket, boy.
I don't see. I know Brisket's at quarterback. I understand.
Get you some of this brisket.
He didn't play too badly against the Arizona Cardinals. I know he threw the pick that set up, the touchdown, the pick in overtime that set up the win for the Arizona Cardinals. I understand that. I can't, in good faith, pick the Cleveland Browns on the road to do anything this year. I know this Kaiser's got a heart. I understand that, but I'm going to go with the Colts to win a sloppy, messy game.
Yeah.
Oh, something like 13-10 or something like that. I'm expecting a lot of points to be scored. I take the under definitely, but that's my pick. I can't.
Okay. I mean, listen, I cannot, and I will not. I don't care if they're playing my fucking ex-high school football team. I cannot pick the Cleveland Browns to win anything. So I think it's going to be a runaway. Honestly, I think they're going to fucking just clobber the shit out of them. Because they're just the Cleveland Browns. They're fucking Cleveland Browns, man. I mean, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, you really got to be upset because, like, I'm a Jet fan and I hear all the time. This is like This is like what you hear from people who are not Jet fans, who like feel bad for you because you're a Jet fan. They say things like, at least you're not the Cleveland Browns. You know what I mean? So that right there is just, I mean, that's some low down dirty shit right there. If you're going to fucking compare them, hey, at least you're not the fucking Cleveland Browns. Well, guess what? Your team is horrible then. And I cannot ever pick them ever. So I think definitely Indianapolis, as bad as things are over there, I think they win this game hands down. But it does have a feel of Cleveland getting their first win. It does have that feel. If there was going to be a game that Cleveland's going to get their only win of the season, it would be this fucking game right here. You know what I mean? And believe it or not, yeah, you have two shitty teams going at it today, but that's a good game to watch because they're evenly matched up. As bad as Cleveland is, they're evenly matched up. There's no Luck. When Luck is not playing on that team, it's shit. So it's a hard one to pick for me right now, but I don't know. I'm going to, you know what, man? I know I said I wouldn't go against Cleveland, but I'm going to fucking do it. I'm going to pick Cleveland one fucking time this year just to give them a shot. I know I can't pick against these guys. I hate picking with these guys. I really do. But I think they're going to get at least 1 or 2 wins this season, and I think this might be one of them right here. I think Indianapolis is prime for the picking right now. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to go with Cleveland. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, obviously. I don't see these two teams really putting up much numbers. I think it'll be like a 17-10 score. Maybe Cleveland wins their first game of the year and only fucking game of the year because they're just horrible. All right, so I'm going to play the Filthy Mouth Gamers picks and everything. We recorded this the other day before he left for Florida. And here's his picks and everything that he's, he puts his predictions in and all that. Here it is. I'm going to play it for you guys right now. All right, guys, we're here with the Filthy Mouth Gamer, who is not with us on the show today, but we did record this earlier, and he's going to give us all his picks for this week so we can keep track of what the score is and who's in the lead and all that good shit. Filthy Mouth Gamer, what's up, buddy?
What's up?
So, what exactly are going to be your picks for this week?
Well, since I know everybody's going to miss me because I'm at Halloween Horror Nights Universal, I wanted to start today with a fucking horror show. And that's the Giants at the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, the Giants have the fucking worst offensive line I have ever seen in my life. Not to mention the worst fucking play caller I've ever seen in my life, and their head coach, Ben McAdoo. The guy calls fucking draw plays on 3rd and 17. Now, the Giants, and this is not a fucking surprise, have the worst rushing game in the NFL. The Eagles are already giving up 88 yards a game on the ground. It's the Eagles' home opener. They've won the last 3 home games against the Giants by an average of 17.3 points. Listen, I'm a Giants fan for my life, and I know tailspin when I see one. The tailspin's going to begin Sunday. Philadelphia 24, Giants 7.
Wow.
And by the way, my fantasy sleepers in that game, LeGarrette Blount for the Eagles. He only got the ball one time last week against the Chiefs. I think he's going to see the ball a lot more. The Giants have their tail between their fucking legs. I see him getting about 2 touchdowns. LeGarrette Blount.
I mean, listen, if that's true what you just said, that is literally going to push the Giants to the brink of destruction, because I could see, you know, an 0-2 start is one thing. An 0-3 start is a whole nother ball game. Like
with two division losses.
Yeah, that just does not look good at all for them. That's not a good look at all. So
like this fucking tailspin, I know it. I could just taste it.
Yeah.
I taste the fucking tailspin.
All right, so that was your first pick. What do you got for your second pick?
All right, you got the Bengals at the Packers. Now, the only team that Aaron Rodgers has not beat in his career, besides the Packers, obviously, is Cincinnati. He's 0-2 against them. The Bengals just fired their offensive coordinator. I think they'll be riled up for this game. But, like I've said now 2 weeks in a row, it doesn't fucking matter when you have a redheaded fucking quarterback. Now, I actually looked into that. Sammy Baugh and Sonny Jurgensen, they both had red hair, and they're both Hall of Famers. But they played for the Foreskins, so they don't count.
Exactly. And isn't that kind of funny? Both of them had red hair. They both played for the Redskins. Yeah. That's crazy, man. Fucking weird, man. This is Stan Madden, and we're going to the next pick right here on the show. No, I'm just kidding. All right,
by the way, Packers are going to win that game 28-17. So I go with the Packers.
Packers. So you're still giving them the win on that?
Yeah, even though fucking Rodgers hasn't beat Cincinnati yet, it's going to happen this year.
I think so too. I would have to agree on that. But all right, so what do you think for your final and third pick?
You got the Kansas City Chiefs at the LA Chargers. Now the Chargers don't even have a fucking home field advantage. Not only because nobody shows up for the fucking game, but really in LA nobody gives a fuck about the Chargers.
No, nobody cares. It's a shame.
San Diego team.
It's a shame.
Yeah, last week Dolphins played them, and there was literally more Dolphins fans at the fucking game than Chargers fans. And the Dolphins felt like it was a fucking home game for them, even though they were on the road. I know.
It was sad to see. You know?
Kareem Hunt is a fucking monster.
Yeah, what's up with that guy, huh?
He's gonna, dude, I guarantee you.
He's a hunt on wheels.
Dude, he's crazy, dude. He's crazy. This is the guy. See, there's always every fantasy, there's one guy that nobody sees coming, and this is the guy.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think he's going to score a couple touchdowns. I think even if the game is close at the end, the Chargers always find a way to lose the fucking game. So I think they'll choke again, but it's not even going to be close, so don't even worry about it. Kansas City is going to go 3-0. Chargers are going to fucking falter down the stretch. Matter of fact, there's not even going to be a stretch. It's Kansas City 35. LA Chargers 14.
Wow. Okay, well, those are pretty good picks. I'd have to agree with you on most of what you said. So that's the week 3 picks for the great Filthy Mouth Gamer, who is not here with us right now, going live right now. So we recorded this earlier. And Filthy, you have a great trip. We'll see you for week 4, returning back to 4th and Long live. And we'll see you then, man. Have a good trip.
Lady cocksuckers.
All right, see you later, man. All right, well, there you have it. Filthy Mouth Gamers picks. What do you think, James?
Those are some pretty good picks. I love the thing that he talked about with Aaron Rodgers. Those notes he had about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Giants, those are all too true.
Yeah.
Giants haven't done anything at all against that team in Philadelphia, and they are owned by that team. Even when they were good, they had issues with them, which is why I just don't see them winning today.
Yeah, I hear you.
So I love this picks.
Yeah, I mean, they were pretty good. He pretty much went with what we already, like, it was, I mean, it was pretty on track of what we were already saying about some of these games. So
yeah.
All right, we're gonna speed this up a little bit. It's almost game time here. The next 20 minutes. What's the next game we got? We'll go through these last couple of ones really fast. We got the Atlanta Falcons against the Detroit Lions in Detroit.
Falcons haven't shown me that they're this world-beating team. They played life and death football against the Bears. If the Bears held on to a couple of touchdown passes, this team's 1-1. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers' offensive line, he lost both of his tackles. He got hit all night, and he turned the ball over twice, which led to why they lost by 11 points. So I'm supposed to believe that the Falcons are back. The Falcons are ready to go. No. I believe in the Lions, and I think the Falcons are going to have I know it's turf. I know the Lions really don't have anybody that can stop Julio Jones and all this other stuff. But the Lions have shown some guts. They've shown some heart. They've shown me a little something. Monday night, they faced a disaster. I mean, I understand that. They showed me more, a lot of heart in the Arizona game. But with all that being said, and I'm wrestling with this pick back and forth as I say it, with all that being said, and the Falcons have not impressed me yet, I am going to pick the Falcons to win this game. Okay. Not by a lot. I think it'll be 27-24. Matthew Stafford have a chance to win it late. Someone in their secondary, Trufant or somebody, makes an interception late or something like that. Yeah. I know Matthew Stafford really hasn't turned the football over like he usually does.
No,
he has played really well.
Yeah, he has.
But I just feel that the Falcons are going to win this game and look a lot better. Their offense really didn't, light up Green Bay like I thought it would.
Yeah.
You look in the crux of that game, it was more the offensive line crumbled and and Aaron Rodgers had no protection and threw like bad pick after bad pick and made dumb mistakes with that backwards pass and everything else.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I pretty much agree with everything you said. I just feel that Atlanta is maybe a little bit worse off than everybody thinks. Or I know they've shown blemishes this year, especially after coming off that fucking Super Bowl loss. Was just, man, that was a car crash. I don't know how any franchise could recover from that. They got a damn good team, but really the onus is on them now to prove that they're that team that made it to the Super Bowl last year. And so far this year, out of the last 2 weeks, they haven't really shown that they are that team. Detroit, on the other hand, like you said, not a lot of turnovers this year. They're looking good early on. Stafford is a well-groomed veteran quarterback now, who's been in the game for a while. He still runs. He still does his thing. The kid's been reliable and really for a while now. Really, I think he's a damn good quarterback. And like I said, Detroit looks good this year. I think Detroit's going to win this game. I think they're going to win something like, I think they're going to squeak it out. I think it's going to come down to like a field goal. I'm saying 31-28, Detroit Lions. All right, so we'll get on to the next game. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers at Chicago Bears. Now, this one, I mean, James, I know where you're going with this one already. And it's pretty much going to be the same way where I'm going with this one. Mm-hmm. The Bears are just a fucking horrific team. They're just not good. They're just not good. They find ways to lose. They're like one of those teams. They just constantly find ways to lose. Mm-hmm. So, with that said, I think the Steelers run away with this one. I think they're going to beat the shit out of the Bears today. I really do. I apologize to you Bears fans. I know there's a lot of Bears fans out there. I just don't see the Bears being any good this year. They're really not that good. I'd say the Steelers win this one. Even though they're in Chicago, I'm still going to give it to the Steelers. I'll give it to them maybe 24-10, 24-17, 24-13, somewhere in there.
Steelers are favored by 7.5 in Chicago.
Yeah, that's sad.
When,
that says a
when
lot.
When did you ever think that would?
I know, man. That says a lot about the Bears this year, man. I mean, you've never really ever seen that type of spread with Chicago home against a team. They're just really not that good this year. They're just.
I mean, other than when, that moron with Jay Cutler, was.
Yeah,
coaching.
no, you're right. They had a couple of bad seasons in there with that guy. You're right.
They're just rebuilding right now. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Listen, the Steelers are going to win this game. The Steelers haven't looked like the Steelers either.
No, they haven't.
They haven't really looked like the old world offense, the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
It was, 21-18. The Minnesota Vikings, they looked a little better. But I haven't seen Antonio Brown.
No.
I haven't seen the guy who demanded all that money and wanted that $50 million. I haven't seen him, so I think he's going to show up in this game against that secondary. Yeah. I think he's going to show up. So this is another one of my official picks.
Okay.
So I believe that the Steelers are going to win this and cover the number. So I believe it's going to be, I give it a 31-14 rout. Taking care of business, not a competitive in the fourth quarter type of game.
Yeah, this is one of my picks too. I have the Steelers today. So and I also have the next game we're going on about the Saints versus the Carolina Panthers. This is a damn good game to watch right here. Don't you agree?
Yeah,
this
rivals.
If you don't watch football and somebody's telling you to watch football for the first time, this is a good game to tune into. You got two teams that pretty much are similar. I would say these two teams, they're very similar. I think this is going to be a really good matchup. They're in Carolina. New Orleans is, they're aged. They're an aged crew.
They have no defense.
Their defense is not what it used to be.
They couldn't stop me.
Their wide receivers aren't what it used to be. I mean, they're just not really that great of a team anymore. They're on the downslope, I think, of this, roster that they've kept together. A couple of guys that are on that roster that have been together for the past 5 or 6 seasons since their Super Bowl. I think this roster is an aging roster, but I think they still have life in them. I think they do, but their defense is horrible. I think Carolina, how could you bet against them in this game?
I mean, the Saints weren't a good road team when they were good.
No, they weren't. You're right. They always had problems.
They're going to walk into Carolina and do something now?
Yeah, I'd see. Listen, this is a no-brainer. So I got Pitt. That's one of my picks. I'm taking Carolina at home against the Saints. I think Carolina's going to put up some pretty good numbers today because that defense is.
They did because that 9-6 last week was.
Yeah, that was crazy to see them in a game like that because they normally are. They're running and gunning.
What's going on with that offense? They need to figure out their identity.
Yeah, I think today they do on this defense. You know what I mean? If there's a game to spark your offense, it's this game against New Orleans because they're
get my boy Christian McCaffrey going, please.
Yeah, I got him too in my fantasy, man, and he's been just. I don't know why I'm kind of upset that I drafted this guy, but I think he'll come around.
He'll come around. Don't worry about it.
So I take Carolina. Obviously, I'm taking them. I'd probably say this would be a 35-16, 17, somewhere in there. I don't see them getting more than 20 points. New Orleans. I think Carolina's going to find their offense this week against a bad defense. So I pick Carolina. James, you obviously picked Carolina too, right?
Too. I think Carolina's going to win this game. They have their offensive issues, but that Saint defense can't stop anything. It can't stop anything.
No, it can't.
The Patriots look the whole world against it. So
I apologize, Mr. Cal Alabama. I know this is your team. We're not shitting on them. It's just their defense is just it's not good. Mr. Cal Alabama, if you're out there right now, you want to call in right now. I'll take your phone call to make your pick and tell us what you think the score of that game is going to be if you're out there right now. I don't know if he's listening or not, but normally
I'd say 27-13 Carolina.
All right, I could see that. 27-13. Normally we take phone calls at the end of the show, but since we were running so late today, I'm not going to drag this show into when the football game starts. So we're going to end this before the game starts.
What do you got with the Broncos and the Bills real quick?
Well, we got the Broncos and the Bills, and we got to also go and tell you what's going on with that Ravens game. They played an early game in England, and then you have the Rams and the 49ers. Did we cover that game yet?
No, we didn't talk about it. It was a thriller on Thursday night.
Yeah, that was. I mean, the Rams fucking kicked ass, dude. Holy shit, they look like a fucking contender at that point. The
49ers. I mean, the 49ers don't have anybody. I mean, the fact that this game was even competitive down the stretch, I understand. Brian Hoyer.
Yeah.
Brian Hoyer is doing this? I mean, come on. I mean,
I know.
And it's 49, 41, 39?
I know.
What was going on?
I think this might be Mr. Kal-El. Hey, what's up? You're on the Foul Mouths Network.
Hey, it's Kal-El.
Hey, what's up, brother?
So, Kal-El.
What's going on, man?
Nothing much.
So what do you? I mean, it's a tough week this week, man. In Carolina, you're New Orleans Saints. The defense, you heard what we said. What do you think's going to happen?
Oh yeah, they'll lose by 2
Yeah.
possessions at least. I mean, Carolina 72% favored to win. So I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got so many injuries on the cornerback position. It's unreal right now. We're picking people off the street just to play.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's rough stuff.
Yeah, that is, man. But I'm used to that type of shit. I'm a Jet fan, so I know exactly how you feel. You know?
No, and no takeaways from the defense either. So that's got to change.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And I don't think it's going to start with Carolina either.
No, I don't think so either. So what do you think the score is going to be?
They're usually like in the 30 and 20s, but I'll say 31-20 or 31-17, something like that.
All right. Sounds about right. Hey, at least you got college, Mr. Kal-El. I know you fucking love the college, At least you have college games to watch,
Yeah, when you talk shit about Bama, you get your ass whooped. That's what happens.
Hey, I'm happy that my NHL is starting pretty soon because New York football is horrible. I hope the Giants get this W today and they bring back the respectability. But I'm waiting for hockey at this point already, man. I'm like, we're bringing hockey in the NBA already, for Christ's sake.
Well, you ain't gonna like my team. I'm a Bruins fan.
Oh my God, a Bruins fan? Oh my God, you're a Boston Bruins fan?
Yeah, I like my Boston teams too now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
At one point I loved the Bruins because Ray Bork is one of my favorite players. Filthy Mouth Game is one of his favorite players. I loved all their older guys, Adam Oates, and they had a lot of good guys that when I was young I used to fucking love their players. So I always had a special spot for the Bruins, but now that I've grown up and understand the rivalry and what Boston means to New York and what New York means to Boston, fuck the Bruins.
I used to be a Yankees fan in the early 90s. I mean, the late 90s. But then I couldn't do it.
I grew up around Yankee fans my whole entire life. When they had that franchise in the late 90s, oh my God, I took so much flack for that, man. I was being just harassed for a good 9-10 years, especially when Wade Boggs jumps on a fucking horse in Shea Stadium and trots around the outfield after they win the fucking World Series. That
was beautiful.
That broke my fucking heart into pieces, man. I was never the same after watching that. And that's after that motherfucker Roger Clemens threw a spiked fucking bat at Mike Piazza's head. And we got nothing. He didn't even get a warning. You throw a spiked fucking object at somebody while they're running down the first baseline. Don't even get me started with that shit.
Ken,
Don't
he
even
thought
get
it
me
was the
started.
ball. What are you talking about?
Yeah, come on. It must have been the roids because you think that was a fucking ball.
It was rage, all right. That
Jesus
was rage.
Christ, man.
Yeah.
So pissed, man.
That was the time of steroids. Yeah. That's crazy.
All right, Mr. Kal-El, thanks for calling in and giving us your pick, brother. We're going to speed this up so we can end this before the game starts in 7 minutes.
No problem, man. Talk to y'all later.
All right, man.
Thanks,
I'll talk to you later. Mr. Kal-El Bama.
I'm going with the Broncos against the Bills. This is my third and official pick for this week, so I'm going to go with Bang. So I'm definitely picking the Broncos.
Yeah, I'm
with
picking
their defense.
Yeah, I got to go with the Broncos as well. I think it's going to be I think the Broncos are going to put up some good numbers today. I think they'll score in the 20s, 24, 21, 10, 7, somewhere in there for the Bills. My third and final pick, I never even said it, but my third and final pick is I took the Patriots. So I got Pittsburgh, I got the Patriots, and I got the Carolina Panthers today. So as of right now, I think Filthy is in first place. I think James is one win behind. And I'm 3-3 after 2 weeks. So we'll see what happens after week 3 of the NFL. And the games are going to start now in about 5 or 6 minutes. Everybody enjoy themselves today. This is James from That Ass Podcast. Go check it out. The link's in all of our videos. Go check them out. If you don't know about them, they do relationship stuff, all kinds of fun stuff they do over there. Go check out their channel. Shout out to Joe Cronin for giving us a recorded, pick. And shout out to Filthy Mouth Gamer. He'll be back next week for week 4 of the NFL. Sorry about the delayed start, guys. Didn't want to run into today's game, so I'm definitely going to stop the show now. I'll double up the phone calls next week. I apologize to you guys if I didn't answer the calls today. We just don't have time for it today because of the late start. So, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Mr. James, it was a pleasure.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
We'll see what happens after today. I'll talk to you tonight. And thanks, guys, for sticking in there with us and watching the show today. And don't forget, Wednesday night we will have Foul Mouths Live back again. And we'll have a couple of things going on during the week on the Patreon channel. If you're not a Patreon, please go over, check it out. For $1 a month, you get like all kinds of exclusive shit. You can ask anybody else in the chat who is our Patreon. We have fun over there. It's kind of like our own little secret area. And we do things and say things in there that we normally don't do on this show. So go over there and check that out. I appreciate all the new Patreons for the Foul Mouths Network. Thank you guys so friggin' much for believing in us and giving us a chance and giving us even $1 is just amazing that you guys would even do that for us. So thank you guys. James, I'll talk to you tonight, like I said, and we'll see who maybe you take first place away from Filthy this week.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go, man. Guys, everybody, definitely. Game's going to start in 5 minutes. Enjoy today's games, and we'll see you next week at the same time, same place. Enjoy the NFL today, guys. Talk to you guys soon.
This was 4th and Long live on the Foul Mouths Network. Be back next week at the same time. Big shout out to Salrex. Check them out on the link below. Fingerling. This show is brought to you by Fingerling. Finger your own ass with your left arm.
Ow, fuck!